Hey guys, it's Adam. I hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome to Do You Watch Anime, a show where I sit down with a guest every week and ask them, do you watch anime? And we go from there. And today joining me is voice actor in such anime as One Piece, The Apothecary Diaries, Sugar Apple Fairytale, and Gachiakuta. Naya Moreno, how are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm really well. How are you today?
Good, good. So, do you watch anime?
I sure do. I definitely used to watch it more often, but
Mm-hmm.
now I mostly just watch the things that I'm in. But when I have free time, yes, I love watching anime.
Yeah. So, what was your kind of first introduction to watching anime?
So my very first one was Pokemon. I think that was a lot of kids' first anime, technically.
Mm-hmm.
I only watched the show. I didn't play the games. I didn't
Okay. Yeah.
read it. I didn't play the card games either. I had a bunch of cards. My brother and I both had a ton of card games or
Yeah.
cards for Pokemon. But we never played. We just collected them and watched the show. And back then, we knew it was like Japanese style animation, but we didn't really know the word anime until much later in life. Like I didn't know anime was its own entire world
Mm-hmm.
until I was in 5th grade when I started watching Naruto. And then I got really into it.
Yeah.
So that was the gateway drug for me.
Oh, I love it. What was it about Naruto that like hooked you?
You know what's really funny is I this is a bizarre story, and this kid has no idea that he shaped the trajectory of my life the way he did, because this my friend my brother's friend Omar,
Mm-hmm.
he my brother and we were all at the Troy Aquatic Center in Troy, Michigan, just swimming, playing outside in the
Yep.
summertime. And he suggested, "Oh, you guys should watch this YouTube video called Narutoned." Narutoned, like not
Mm.
Naruto, but Naruto owned, Narutoned.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know how we used to use the word owned, like, oh, you got
Yeah.
owned, you know?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Exactly. And so he's like, it's really funny. You guys should watch it. And we had never seen Naruto or anything like that, but we took his word on it. And so we went home and we watched the YouTube video Naruto.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what it was someone took a bunch of Naruto clips out of context and they put music over them. Not like an AMV,
Yeah.
but it was a comedy kind of thing where, like, oh, everyone makes fun of how Orochimaru kind of looks like Michael Jackson because of
Yeah.
his light complexion. And so they would put Michael Jackson songs over Orochimaru scenes and things like that. And so we thought it was pretty funny, even though we didn't understand any of the context. But man, we came back to that YouTube video, Naruto and Naruto 2. We came back to it every single day that summer, every
God
day.
damn.
Yeah. And so we were obsessed with this YouTube video. And my sister and I went to Blockbuster.
Oh
Blockbuster.
my god.
And we saw Naruto Clash of Ninja 2 for GameCube sitting on the
Yeah.
shelf. And we were like, oh, wouldn't it be hilarious if we ironically rented this out and played it just to see what it was like? And my sister and I were like, that would be so nerdy, but let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
try it out. We'll see it just for poops and giggles, you know?
Yeah.
And so we rented Naruto Clash of Ninja 2, and we really liked the game. And we were like, this is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should check out the show. And at the time, they had what was called Naruto Hundo, which is this 3-day long marathon of episodes of Naruto from 1 to 100.
Wow.
And so we planned it out. We got our VHS tapes and we recorded as many episodes as we
Yep.
could. And yeah, we watched the Naruto Hundo, and from then on, it was just history from there. Like the rest all fell into place. We became obsessed with Naruto as an entire franchise, as well as
Mm-hmm.
other anime like Fruits Basket
Yeah.
and other things from that era. I got pretty big into Bleach as well. And it was, yeah, that opened the floodgates for me for sure.
Oh my god. So from Naruto, where did you like kind of like discover more anime like that?
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Naruto allowed us to sort of see anime more as a genre
Okay. Yeah.
instead of just like a short, small little niche of shows. And so, yeah, Naruto introduced us to a lot of different a lot of different popular shows from back then. But I think I took it and ran with it more than my siblings did. I became a little bit more obsessed with anime than even they were.
Yep.
And so it kind of just became my thing a little bit. And my sister would bond with me about it. But man, from then on, I started doing cosplaying, and we started going to Youmacon, which is a big Detroit anime convention. And my mom would take me and my sister, and she'd wait in line for us while we were in the dealer's room. And then we'd come back to her and wait in line with her and meet all the voice actors. And that's when I started getting into voice acting and understanding, okay, this is a job. People do this. I always wanted to be an actress, but when I started watching Naruto, that introduced me to a lot of talented voice actors. And then I got to meet those voice actors at Youmacon, and then I learned this is what I want to do. This is the acting that I want to do. And so it really did put my life on a trajectory. And like I said, I look back at that kid Omar who just said, "You guys should watch Naruto," and he had no idea what it would become and what would come from that. And I just think that's absolutely hilarious.
Oh my god, that's gonna be the title, like started from with Naruto owned.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you could watch a show over and over and over again, one show, what would it be, and not get sick of? Sorry.
Death Parade.
Okay.
Death Parade.
Hell yeah.
I love Death Parade so much. And I like that it's only 12 episodes. That makes it easier to rewatch over and over again. And I have seen that show so many times now. I have shown it to as many people as I can. Everyone that I'm close with, I'm like, you have to watch this show. It is an absolute treat.
Yeah.
And the storytelling, the voice acting, the colors, the character design, the music, even all of that show is so gorgeous. And yeah, I have seen that one many, many times, and I would rewatch it over and over again. And they actually just took it off of Crunchyroll.
Yep.
And it's devastating.
Yeah.
I have it on DVD and Blu-ray though.
There you go.
Hey, yes. We millennials are spoiled with our media. I feel like with our hard copies, and people don't realize you don't need a streaming platform to watch a good show and still pay the money where the money is due. You don't have to illegally stream something just to watch it. So, but those children, they just don't know. They don't know, and that's okay.
Well, it's because like for a while I was like, everything's on streaming, I don't need to collect anything, blah blah blah. And then I got more into watching anime, and I was like, oh, the Ghibli movies aren't anywhere as of where we were at the point. And I was like, oh, I'll like collect all the Ghibli movies, like hard copy. I was like, hell yeah, let's do that. And so like I got like pretty close to all of them, and then Netflix is like, oh yeah, by the way, they're all on Netflix. And I was like, thank you, I'm glad I have them, but I was just like, it's fine, it's like they were tracking me.
They're like, while you're right there at the finish line, we would like to let you know we did you a favor.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's crazy.
Oh my god. So what's an anime that you recommend that you have to go, I swear it's good?
Well, besides Death Parade, man, that's a really good question. Berserk. I love Berserk.
Okay.
That show is, it's very dark. I
was not expecting that. Yeah.
It's very dark, and it has quite a bit of violence in it. But I think that the storyline itself is just so good. Yeah. And Guts' character development, oh man, that is a man. Like, that is a man. And I love that show. So I've recommended that one to a few people. And the movies honestly are great. I love the movies, even though they do trim down the series itself, and they give you more of like just the basic plot lines. Yeah. I think the animation looks really good. I think that the the acting is still stellar. I love the movies. And so if people don't want to watch the 90s version of anime, because I know that's a taste thing. Some people have a taste for the 90s style of animation, and others would prefer more modern looking things. So I always recommend, hey, if you want the 90s, watch the 90s. If you don't, then watch the movies, because they're just as good. I love them.
Yeah. The very first time I ever watched the 90s version, when Guts when Guts says, "Ugh, woman troubles," I legitimately went, "Oh God!"
It's like, oh.
I was like, "Ugh."
Yeah, that was a thing back then. Yeah, I
Yep,
remember now.
yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm just like, damn, boy. Okay, don't have any sympathy whatsoever.
Woman troubles.
Yeah, woman troubles, and it's like easy.
Silly Guts.
Yep.
Silly.
Oh my god.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's always funny when someone's like, yeah, I like. Oh god, sorry, my phone just.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, and it's always funny when like people are like, oh my god, I really like this like dark stuff, and I was like, okay, you should watch Berserk, but there is some uncomfortable stuff.
Sure, of course. Yes.
Because like plenty of people have come up to me and been like, I'm gonna start watching Berserk, and I was like, here's the content warning.
Yes, you do need a precursor. You
Yeah.
need that disclaimer because it's intense. It's really intense.
Yeah.
It does deal with a lot of adult themes. And while that is, difficult for some viewers, a lot of viewers probably, it's something that is integral to the story. And I think that's what makes the characters so much more real. It makes their problems a little bit more relatable.
Yeah.
And while they're not relatable to the core for everybody, I think a lot of people have respect for these characters on a different level than they would for something like, I don't know, something. I'm trying to think of an anime that's, I don't know. I mean, Pokemon, like you're not going to have the same issues in Pokemon that you do in Berserk. And so, there's an anime out there for everybody.
Yeah.
Every age, every lifestyle, like every personality, there's an anime out there for someone.
Yeah.
And it's fun to dabble in all the different types of anime and all the different genres, romance, comedy, children's, and mature themes. And violent ones like Attack on Titan, like all of that stuff. There's something to be appreciated by everyone. And that's just one of those shows where it's not for everyone.
Yep.
Berserk is not for everybody. But if you can handle those difficult topics, it's a very rewarding show.
100%. And like even this year, Clavitas coming out, it's got that same Berserk vibes of like the chilling like themes of bad things happen to good people all the time. And it was a beautiful story, and I was like, damn, this is like, if someone really likes Berserk, really likes those dark fantasy, I think this is like the perfect kind of like, because we don't get those a lot.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and like I think it was just fantastic. And there was, again, just like Berserk, there were some moments where I'm like, I'm uncomfortable. But yeah, it's so good. So going from Berserk to One Piece,
yes.
You voice Speed in One Piece.
Yes.
How is that? What was your reaction to being cast in such an iconic franchise?
Oh my gosh, it was surreal. First of all, it was my very first role with anime ever. Before that, I had only done television commercials, radio commercials, both on screen and behind the microphone. And I loved those jobs, but I always wanted to do anime, as someone who loves anime, I always wanted to be a part of that. And oh my gosh, I got the email that I was cast as Speed in One Piece while I was in JCPenney at Oakland Mall in Troy, Michigan. And so when I got the email, I read it and I gasped so loud and I wanted to scream, but instead I had to like hold my mouth shut and I had tears streaming down my face. I was crying. I was so excited. And right away, I called I called the people that I was closest with, and
Mm-hmm.
I was in the display bed section at JCPenney.
Yeah.
And so I just threw myself onto the bed, and I was just calling everyone, telling them, "You'll never guess what happened." And,
Yeah.
like, I just got an email. And oh my gosh. And when I looked her up, I was like, oh my gosh, this character Speed, she's so cool. Like,
Yeah.
she's a centaur. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I saw her adorable ears. I was
Yeah.
like, what? Like, that is just such a blessing. I was so excited, and just so grateful. I was also intimidated, though, because One Piece, as my very first anime
That's
role,
insane.
that was crazy. And so I was like, how in the world am I going to do it justice?
Yeah.
I need to live up to the standard that has been set years before me. When I was born.
Yeah.
This show's been going on since I was born. That's crazy, man. And so I watched through all of my episodes that I knew I would be recording, and I just watched them over and over again just to mentally prepare. That's the good thing about One Piece at that time is the Japanese was pretty much almost all out there, and the English was just catching up hundreds of episodes behind. So luckily, I got to see a character that had already been formed, a character that had already been established, and watch through my episodes knowing fully what's going to happen to her, which is really rare in anime, especially with the simuldub schedules where you record pretty much before the Japanese even comes out sometimes. And so, yeah, it was surreal. It was absolutely surreal.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like,
Yeah.
How how was it getting to play a villain in One Piece? Because like that's also intimidating to be your first like anime role as well. Like, holy shit. Like,
yeah. So I love the villains. I
yeah.
think the villains are so fun. Villains are big usually. They always have some part of their personality that's really big. And whether it's an understated evil or a big, mad scientist evil, there is a lot of motivation behind a character's decisions when they are a villain.
Yeah.
And so I knew going into it, One Piece characters are huge. They are big personalities, larger than life personalities. And watching through Speed, she's got her laugh, she's got her neighing, and and so she's evil, and she's against the Straw Hats, and she's a part of Kaido's team.
Yeah.
But her evilness was more of a mission.
Yeah.
It was more she had a duty to fulfill. And so she knew her job. And so she was a woman doing her job, but by whatever means necessary, with her own quirks, with her own little character flaws that she has. And so I like how she was just a woman doing her job. And I can relate to that. I can't relate to being evil, but I can relate to a woman being on a mission, doing her job, and following orders, doing whatever is necessary to get that job done. And so that was nice to have a character like that, where her evilness was not unattainable. It was still very much approachable, and she wasn't like that kind of evil. And she becomes good pretty quickly. I mean, Tama comes and tames her with her little dumpling that she pulls out of her cheek, and and so she becomes one of the good guys pretty quickly. And while she doesn't like Luffy for a majority of it, I think that she still has her big heart that she gives to Otama and loves her very dearly, whether it's influenced just by the dumpling or by the motherliness in her as an older woman in her 20s caring for a little child that's a child. So, I think that there are a lot of sides to her that I got to explore, even outside of just being a villain, which was fun.
Yeah. Oh my God. So how would you describe Speed to a non-One Piece fan?
Oh my gosh. Oh boy. How would I describe Speed to a non-One Piece fan? Well, I think the first thing I've told non-One Piece fans about my character is I have a lot of friends who are, I'm trying to think of how to describe this. I have a lot of friends who, first of all, are Christian, but they're also like, conservative Christian. And so the first thing I noticed about Speed was, ooh, she's got a lot of cleavage showing.
Yep.
And so when I show people my character, especially in those friend groups, I give them the disclaimer, like, just so you know, her outfit, I know her outfit is a little bit showy. But she's a good character, and she's a lot of fun. She's silly and goofy. And yeah, she's a centaur, but that's not the goofiest thing about her. I think the goofiest thing about her is, first of all, her smile. Her smile is so hilarious. And while her centaurness, like her horseness, doesn't really interfere much with her personality, so to speak, I think it's just a part of her that gives her strength. And so if I introduce Speed to people that are not One Piece fans, her outfit and her character design is definitely a disclaimer that I give. It's like, look, I know what this looks like. I promise it's not weird. Promise it's not weird. So yeah, that's a really funny question. I like that a lot.
No, I was coming up with the questions. I was like, hold on, that's hilarious. How do you describe this centaur woman to a person who's like, what? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
She neighs and stuff, and she gallops, but but it's not weird. I
swear. Oh my god. So you also get to pop into the Apothecary Diaries as Eilon. How was it getting to play in that gorgeous world of Apothecary Diaries?
Oh my gosh, yes, gorgeous is a good way to describe that show. It's so beautiful. Once again, all the music, the character designs, the art style, all of it is so lovely. And all of the women in that show are beautiful in their own ways, and they all look unique. They all look different, they're not all just cookie cutter characters. And so I was living with Kelsey Cruz at the time and her husband Jordan. And when Kelsey and I both found out that we both got cast as ladies in waiting, we were so excited. We were so excited to be in a show together, and getting to pop into that show. My character Eilon normally interacts with Kelsey's character, Yinghua, and so I get to hear her in my headphones, and I get to play off of her most of the time. And sometimes, on occasion, I would come in and she hadn't recorded yet, but I'd like to always imagine, what would Kelsey do in this line? What's she gonna sound like? And so that was really special for me and her friendship. I think that show was really fun to bond over with her. And yeah, that show is just amazing. I worked with a couple different people for those episodes, directing wise. And so usually it's Sean Gann. He's the one who has done a majority of the show. And then I got to work with Marcus Stimmick for a little one, and then Michael Stimmick. And so like getting to work with all of those guys, it was so much fun. The whole cast and crew for that show was just really solid.
Oh yeah.
And it was just quite an honor to be a part of that whole entire thing. And I hear that they're releasing more, which is like, fingers crossed.
Please, come on.
We'll be in there. We'll see. I have no idea, honestly. But hopefully we get to show up again. The ladies in waiting will be doing their thing and being little busybodies and gossiping and all that stuff. And we'll see.
Yeah. So from an acting perspective, what's kind of been your favorite part about voicing her?
I like when I voice Eilon, she is I like the range that she gets to fall in.
Yeah.
I like the range that directors have been casting me as. And while no one wants to be stuck in a particular type of character for too long, I do always like the ones that are easy on the vocal cords.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, Eilon is in my natural range.
Mm-hmm.
Her voice is a little bit more sophisticated than my own.
Yeah.
So it's nice to get to use my own tone for a character. I enjoy playing around with different voices, but those ones I already know, like, okay, I know what I got to bring to the table. And so I like the range that she's in. I enjoy playing the feminine motherly characters. I think those are fun to play. Playing a gentle, a gentle lady, I think is something that is not so much like me. I feel like I'm very outgoing and I'm animated and excitable. And so when I get to play a character that's more calm, I think that calms me down and it relaxes me.
Yeah.
And so I know that those sessions, while they're fun for many different reasons, they're usually relaxing ones. So,
yeah. It's Apothecary Diaries is one of my favorites. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be so like deep and like profound, and like it's like 5 different genres of anime put into one, and it's great. Because when I first saw the like teaser like poster, I was like, oh, beautiful romance, perfect. Look at this costumes, look at these characters, that's a beautiful man. Like, I was like, sign me up. And then you just go deeper and deeper into the story, and I'm like, holy shit. Like at first I was like, this is like Anime House, like she's solving all of these mysteries, and I'm like, oh my god,
Anime House.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah. And like it's just, oh, it's so good. And like everyone does such a great job in it, and it's so good, so good.
Just it's that meme.
Yep. Exactly. So you also voice Kathy in Sugar Apple Fairytale, which is one of my favorite romance of the past, like, god, how knows how long. How was it getting to play such a complex character like her?
Oh my gosh, man. I love Kathy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sean Gann, the same director as Apothecary Diaries, did Sugar Apple Fairytale. And oh my gosh, I absolutely love that show. I feel like there are a lot of shows that I've been a part of that I'm interested in outside of my sessions. But that one in particular was one that I was like, oh, I love this show,
Yeah.
And so Kathy, when I got the casting for that, that was my first time working with Sean. And so that was really cool that he took a shot on me and gave me that opportunity. She's a fairy. She was a fairy. So I wanted her voice to be a little bit higher.
Yeah.
A little bit more of a smaller person.
Yeah.
But she's also really sassy, and so I just wanted to give her a little bit of snottiness as well. And so I love her character design. I also love that she is a woman in love with a man who just does not treat her very well.
No.
And while that is very sad, it's something that a lot of women can relate to.
Yeah.
Which is really unfortunate. I know what it's like to feel a codependency and a Stockholm syndrome kind of relationship. And so seeing the way Jonas would treat her, like that was so hurtful.
I was like, I want him dead. I was like,
that man needs to die.
That man needs to be in jail, dead. I don't care.
Yes, exactly. Under the jail.
Yeah.
Put him under the jail.
Literally.
Oh my gosh, dude, what a jerk. Yeah.
God.
He's got his own issues, but like Kathy wanted to fix him and she wanted to change him and help him. And a lot of people, even that aren't women, other people like can relate to that of like, oh, they're toxic and I know they're not good for me, but
Yeah.
you know, I really, really care about them. And, you know, if only they could see, if only they could notice just how much I care about them. And that's very much the role that Kathy plays in there. And so I really appreciate that about her. She's jealous, she's petty.
Yep.
You know, like that's hilarious. I just love those personality traits in her. I think that she's so silly. But she's just a heartbroken gal.
Yep.
You know, she's a heartbroken gal just looking for love, wishing for something that, you know, is never going to happen. And it's we've been there, man. We've all been there. We've all handled it differently, probably.
Yeah.
But you know, like she's someone who is very complex, like you said, and I felt really honored to be a part of bringing her to life.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Whenever she sassed Anne, I'm like, girl, shut the fuck up. Like, I will literally, like, you are this small, like.
Yeah, like all you gotta do is flick it like a, you know, like a little booger.
Yeah,
like a
literally.
Booger.
I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, ugh. There's some times where I'm like,
girl, stop.
Yeah, it's literally like Anne is the nicest person on planet Earth, and she's like, well.
Yeah. Actually.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And you know, when this is kind of a spoiler, y'all. So if you haven't seen Sugar Apple Fairytale, close your ears. But when she's revealed to like be a part of Jonas's evil scheme and she throws the blood on Anne, she had so much regret on her face and so much shame. And I was like, oh my gosh, she doesn't want this. She doesn't want to be a part of this. Jonas is bringing out the worst in her.
Yeah.
And, but she thinks that Jonas is all she has and all she deserves, really. And so she's going to do what it takes to try and get his approval. But man, like she has a conscience. It's just that, you know, the influence of Jonas over her is too strong for her to resist that. But that for me was a realization as well. When I was in the booth and I saw her face, I was like, oh, she's really upset about this. Like she doesn't want to be a part of this. That's so sad. It's so heartbreaking.
Yep. That was my turning point. I went, oh, damn it. You're not as bad as I thought.
I know, you have remorse.
Yeah. I'm like, damn it.
I can't hate you.
Yep.
Fine.
It's fine. Oh my god. So you also play Dear Santa in Gachi. How is it playing a character that barely talks from an acting perspective? Because their facial expressions are so like expressive, there we go. But they don't say a thing.
Yes. Yeah, so you know what's funny is this is the second role I've had that's recurring where a character does not actually have words to say and they just make noises. I used to play Snowy Owl, Shiro Fukuro in Once Upon a Witch's Death. And so that was very much the same vibe where I know when I go in for these characters, I'm not saying a word, but I will be making noises and I have to use my own nonverbal communication skills to portray emotions instead of language. And so that was always really fun with making owl sounds. And I'll admit, she was even more animated and expressive than Dear Santa is. And so when playing Dear, that's challenging to like make grunts that have all these different connotations to them and different contexts and emotions attached to them. And most of the time he's a snot-nosed brat who is like, you know, just being a little jerk. Like that's the way he is. But working with Lee, the director, Lee George, he is so good at expressing and communicating the types of emotions that I need to convey in the simple, you know, like there's so many different ways to do it. And he's really good at letting me know what he needs as a director and what the motivation of this exact grunt is. And so it's helpful. It's really helpful, especially if you're recording and they skip parts of the show to get to your lines.
Yeah.
And so you're only seeing the scenes that you're in unless you've been following the show this entire time on your own time in Japanese. So while a lot of context is missing, the director has to be really good at conveying, okay, here's what you missed in these previous scenes. This is what you're reacting to now. And it's even easier to get that context when you have lines that are written out, but just grunting. It's like, okay, I need to know exactly why he's grunting. What is he expressing in this grunt? He's apparently got a battle scene coming up, and I'm excited about that. That'll be so fun. But yeah, he's hilarious, man. He doesn't say anything, and yet he's a well-liked character.
Yeah.
I saw an image that someone got a tattoo of him, and I was blown away. I was like,
damn,
this guy doesn't say anything.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And so I just love that people still like him, even though he doesn't have anything specific to contribute to a conversation.
Yeah. Even like his introduction where like, I'm pretty sure Rudo is eating the candy and it's just like give me your fucking candy. So good. I was like, what is happening here?
Hand it over, man. It's like, all right, that's mine now.
Yeah. So good.
He's silly. Yeah. Really silly. I love quirky characters like that. That just, they're just there. They're just there doing their thing. And people got to tolerate them. The people around them tolerate them. That's it.
Yeah. So what's been your favorite part about being in the kind of Gachiakuta world? Because it is such an incredible show, and oh my God.
Yeah. So I really like the production value that goes into that show. I think that it is so unique as well of a concept.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the huge reasons as to why it is so popular right now. I've never seen anything like it before. And I think a lot of people feel the same way.
Yeah.
When it came to being cast as Deer, right away I knew, oh, this is something special.
Yeah.
Even just looking up the show, looking up the characters, all of their designs are so captivating, immediately attention grabbing with the art style. And so, man, that's an honor. That's a huge honor. It's very humbling to be a part of this. And I'm excited to meet more cast members. There are a lot of them that I haven't met. And so I know my friend Ezra is in it.
Yep.
I absolutely love Ezra. She's awesome.
Yeah.
She, me, and Kelsey, all three of us, we're pretty close. And so I'm excited to meet more folks that are a part of this show and get to hear their own specific experience with it. Because mine is very small compared to a lot of other people's.
Yeah.
Very small.
Yeah.
So it's an honor. It is.
Yeah. And it's just, it's insane to me, the amount of people that I know that are like in it. And like, I'm like, every week, I'm like, holy shit, calm down. Like, my God. Like, oh my God. Like, when Celeste got cast as Amo, I was like, holy shit. And then she messaged me, she's like, just the next episode's gonna be a doozy. And I was like, okay, you're just saying that. And then finished that episode and I was like, I'm not okay. How dare you? Thank you for the warning, but like, holy shit.
Sometimes disclaimers don't do it justice, man.
Yeah. Straight up.
Berserk, you can give people disclaimers and it's like, it's hard. It's brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been so good and one of my favorites of the year so far. Cause even when I read the first volume of the manga before it came out, I was like, how are they going to adapt this? This is like, this art is incredible. And like
Yeah.
the just the style, it feels different to anything I've ever read or seen before. And
Exactly.
yeah, it's just cool. It's just cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It really is.
Mhm.
All of the clothing designs, the
Yep.
hair designs,
Yep.
everything is so unique. And you know what show it kind of reminded me of when I saw the manga art was Dead Man Wonderland.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love Dead Man
Mhm.
Wonderland. Another dark show.
Mhm.
Another violent one. But
Yep. Yep.
that show is also really, really good. And I'm sad that it was only one season. I wish they had renewed it. But
Yep.
yeah, it reminded me of that, like with the edgy style of the way the characters looked and everything.
Yep.
I was like, oh, that reminds me of that. And so yeah, right away it looks exciting, even just looking at the characters.
Oh yeah. And like when I was doing more research on like the author and the artist of the manga and the series, I was like, oh, I can definitely tell that you studied underneath the Soul Eater mangaka. Yeah,
Yeah.
not
Yes.
because they mentioned that, and I was like, oh, now this all makes sense why it looks so cool.
That is so true.
Yeah.
I didn't even make that connection,
Yeah.
and you're right.
Yeah.
I see that very
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. And like, oh, it's just so beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh
Yeah.
my God. So how did you originally get into acting?
Oh man. I always wanted to be an actress ever since I was little, and I would even give my mom a hassle about doing my homework because I told her, "Mom, actresses don't have to do homework, so I'm not going to do homework." I hated school, and I was a smart kid, but I was not a good student. I was a procrastinator. I hated studying. I hated focusing and sitting in class. And man, so I loved all of my theater classes. Any chance I got to perform, I absolutely loved it. My mom she was so generous. Both of my parents have been so generous with me, and they would pay for registration for me for acting classes outside of school. So little local theaters, improv classes for kids, all kinds of local stage productions that provided classes and workshops. And so I came alive in those times. I loved it. I felt so at home. I felt in my element. And while I wasn't really confident in math and science and all of those things, I felt so confident in all of my acting classes.
Yeah.
And that went all throughout college, even. All of my different classes I took, the theater classes and the acting and film too. I love film, but those performance-based classes, oh man, I couldn't get enough of it. I was always looking forward to every single one of those days and those classes. And so I knew, okay, this is something that not only do I love this and I have a passion for it, but I think I understand it. You know, I think I know what I'm doing when I'm doing these things. And so that made me feel like maybe I could do this as a job and not just as a passion or a pastime. And so going back to when I was learning about voice acting and Naruto and anime conventions and meeting voice actors, everyone has their start to acting differently, and everyone has their start to voice acting differently. I started in commercial work before I started in anime, but I always wanted to do anime, and so I was actually in line for a panel hosted by Caitlin Glass. We all love Caitlin Glass. She's amazing. She's a legend. But she was doing a worship panel, and I come from a faith-based background. I'm Christian. My family is Christian. We've always been Christ followers, and so Caitlin Glass would host a worship panel every Sunday morning at conventions that she would do, because her philosophy was, hey, you're here at this anime convention, and if you're going to miss church, then we're going to bring church to you at the anime convention. And so my mom and I and my sister, we would all go to these worship panels whenever Caitlin would host them. And in line, I met a voice actress who is so sweet, very near and dear to me, Tia Ballard.
Hey,
and She's an angel.
Oh, yeah.
I love her. And she, not only is she so extremely talented, but she's also very wise in her faith as well. And so she and my mom and I all just had these conversations while we were waiting in line for Caitlin's panel. And Tia Ballard and Caitlin Glass both knew that I wanted to go into voice acting one day, because me being a little kid told them, I want to be a voice actress. How do I do it? And so Tia was kind enough to me and my mom to stay connected with us and stay in communication and contact with us. And over the years, she would give me advice and different skills to learn, different types of classes to take. And one day I sent her my voiceover demo reel that I had recorded with one of my voiceover coaches in Michigan.
Okay.
And she liked my demo reel. And she said, okay, well, I'm gonna forward this to one of our directors here and maybe they'll cast you. And that's how I got booked as Speed in One Piece. It was just a huge blessing. I give it all up to God. I take no credit for it. And yes, I fully acknowledge this has been a lifelong dream of mine, you know. But ultimately, dreams don't just, no matter how hard you work, like, dreams don't automatically always become a reality. And so everyone, like I said, everyone has their own start to voice acting differently. And every situation is so unique and different. And I truly see God's fingerprints on how I got involved with Crunchyroll, through waiting in line at a worship panel, meeting a very kind and generous and gracious voice actress who was sweet enough to lend us her time and her energy and her contact info. And she was willing to teach and guide me. And I had a lot of wonderful teachers I've encountered throughout my acting career. And every single one of them has been such an integral part of each piece of the puzzle that became this now. So yeah, I kind of went off on a tangent there, but everyone's story of getting into acting is so different, and that's mine. Yeah, and I can't give you a rule. You know, there's no set rule as to how to get involved, and it's just you do. There are things that work, and so you know, like knowing your stuff, being a trained actor, that's part of it. Meeting people and having connections, genuine connections with people, that's part of it. Being kind is a huge part of it. Yeah. Because you can't just meet a voice actor and say, all right, what can you offer me? You know, like that's not how it works. No. And you have to build genuine connections outside of the work and outside of the ulterior motives. Because that's what it's supposed to be before you start to experience the business side of the connections. Does that make sense? The human connections come first. And the rest falls into place. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Oh my God, that was so lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I was just like the whole time I was like, oh, this is so, absolutely. Oh my God. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
That's very kind of you. Thank
you. So who's a character that you voice that you relate to the most?
Oh, that's such a good question.
Hi, I'm Steve Yurko.
And I'm Tara Sands. Now available from Maji Media is our new podcast, 4Kids Flashback. 4Kids is the company who brought you the English dub of Pokemon in the late 90s and so many other shows like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Shaman King, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Kirby, the infamous One Piece dub, and so many more.
We'll be talking to the people who worked at 4Kids. Actors, directors, writers, editors, producers, engineers, you get the point. And hopefully get the answers to questions both you and I have about the company.
I actually worked there as a voice actor on some of the shows.
And I was a kid watching the shows and remember way more than Tara does.
and thank God for that. Steve is actually a professional storyboard artist, which gives some really unique insights into anime and animation. Subscribe today wherever you get your podcasts. That's the number 4 Kids Flashback.
Hey guys, welcome to the Patreon portion of today's episode. And if you want to join the Patreon, there are a few different tiers, like shoutouts on the episodes, as well as exclusive videos and behind the scenes content and so much more, and even the episode a day early. Thank you to Gio, Keith, Blythe, Bunny, Mikey, Sheba, and Brooke. And if you want to join the Patreon or find out more, the link will be down below. And yeah, back to the episode.
Who's the character that I relate to the most? What's so funny is like there are little parts of me in all of these characters.
Yeah.
But it's hard to pinpoint one that like feels like most like me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really tough. I'm going to say Maiko Maya Stronskaya from Psychopaths.
Okay.
I'm going to say her because she is a woman who has a loving, tender, affectionate side to her when she's with her husband, Kay. And so I think that the romantic part of things is very relatable to me, but she's also really strong when she has to be.
Mm-hmm.
She's willing to fight for her man, and she's willing to fight for herself. And so I see that in me, someone who tries to be kind and gentle in nature, but is willing to fight if necessary. And so I think she would probably be someone that I relate to the most, with her different capabilities. And she's level-headed. She has wisdom. I sure hope I have those things. And so I think she's a really good supporter for her husband. But she's also a really good supporter of herself.
Yeah.
She fights for herself and for the people she cares about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, love that. So how has your relationship with anime changed since becoming a voice actor?
Oh, that's a good question. My relationship with anime has shifted a lot.
Yeah.
And I still see all of the beautiful things that make anime so special, even as a voice actor. But when I watch through it, I have to watch the dub, first of all, because those are my coworkers. Those are my friends. Those are people I know and I care about and I want to support. And I want to hear what other people in my industry are doing, you know? But now it's really hard to pull myself out of that space.
Yeah.
And I think about, I wonder how many takes that line took. Or I wonder what they're thinking and feeling in the booth when they're saying this. Or I wonder, what they looked like in the booth recording this. And which is also really silly because, when you think about Speed from One Piece, you're like, like that's not something that normal people do on their own job. Yeah. And so I just hear my friends. I think that's the biggest thing, the biggest shift. Yep. I hear my friends and I hear my colleagues in the characters because I hear their voices and I know them on a personal level now. Yeah. And I hear the people that I look up to, the voice actors that I admire and have inspired me throughout my career. And I think I see anime more as an actor's lens than a viewer's lens. Yeah. Which, I miss being ignorant to all of the technicalities because then you do get to appreciate things on a sort of a fresh level. But it's not a burden to me to see things through an actor's perspective. It's the same way I feel about film and film production. I think it makes me appreciate it more because people don't realize, and they take it for granted, how much work goes into these productions. Yeah. Anime and film and music even. They don't realize how much effort, time, money, resources go into something that feels small to a viewer. Yeah. And while they can appreciate the story from a fresh lens, I get to see the whole entire rest of that iceberg where they might see the tip. I see the whole rest of that iceberg now. And I think it's really enhanced my view of anime and of media in general. I see American cartoons, and those are recorded differently than anime are. But, you know, as a voice actor, I get to hear their performance, and I get to think about their performance and their experience while they're doing it. So I think it's really enhanced it now that I say that out loud.
Yeah. It's always funny because, like, obviously with the show, I'm used to talking to anime voice actors, and a few months ago I got to sit down at a con with some actors from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
So cool.
Yeah, and so, like, I'm so used to being like, yeah, we were all alone. It was just us. But then they were like, yeah, sometimes there was 3 of us, and I'm like, whoa, this is crazy.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, that's cool. That's like, because I was just like, it's such a different beast on itself, but also, like, you see the similarities, you see, you know, and I totally get the every anime I'm watching, I'm like, oh, there's even in some shows that, you know, I'm just watching just for fun, it'll be the odd, like, Walla, some, like, background character will say something, and I was like, there's Ben, there's, you know, there's there's like, there's Mauricio, like, Jesus, like.
Walla sessions are so funny because sometimes you have the opportunity to just sneak little things in there that you can't get away with otherwise. And oh my gosh, when a director hears it and wants to keep it in, those are the best ones. And it's like, oh man, I can't wait to hear that Walla session back, you know, and no one's expecting to be like, oh, I can't wait to hear the voice actors in that Apple Market Square scene. You know, like no one's thinking about that, but it's our little treat as actors to hear with someone use this silly voice saying this particular thing about an apple. Like, it's just goofy. It's just so goofy.
Yeah, one of my favorite, like, one-off lines that really shouldn't have made any sense, or, like, just been a nothing line, in the newest dub of Kimi ni Todoke. Caleb Yen voices one of Kazuhaya's friends, and in the background all you hear is Kazuhaya, and I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, no, we have to rewind for that.
Go back.
Yeah, I was like, how is that? They took that. Damn. All right.
That's so funny. Yeah. The direct that passes through a lot of ears before it gets put on there, and they're all like, "Yep, we're keeping it." That's so good. I love that.
Yeah, I was just like, I can't get over that, and now it's like a stem that we yell all the time. But yeah,
that's so funny. Oh my gosh. So that reminds me of a story. I was recording zombie sounds and zombie noises. And to be honest, I totally forgot which anime it was. But, I was in there with two men and one other woman. And as we were recording these zombie sounds, like everyone is making noises like noises like that. One girl in the booth, the other girl, she started choking while she was making that sound. And so in my headphones, I just remember hearing her go like the whole time. I'm laughing, making these zombie noises. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. I was crying. And I don't know if I don't know if anyone else really noticed all that much, but I definitely did. I thought it was so hilarious.
That's so funny. Oh my God.
Just the things you hear, like, and we just kept going. The take just kept going, you know. It didn't stop.
That's crazy.
One Piece, there are these scenes where a bunch of people are dying, and I got to be in one of those scenes, or a few of those scenes. And so it's basically like The Purge, where I don't know if you've seen The Purge 2, the second one, but it's rich people who are killing poor people.
Great, of course.
That's the sport. That's the sport that they're doing. And so we, as Walla actors, we got to be both the poor people that were dying and the rich people that were laughing.
Hell yeah.
While they were killing, unfortunately. But the the sadness of the scenes with the one, like in the One Piece clips that were just heartbreaking of these families getting ripped apart. It was so tragic.
Yeah.
But the screaming that we all had to do in that booth, you can't help but laugh.
Yeah.
You can't help but laugh when you hear it's just 4 full-grown adults like screaming at the top of our lungs and wailing. Like that's very sad when it's on TV.
Yeah.
But when you're just doing it in the booth, it's funny. It's a funny scenario that like when you take yourself out of the context and you look from an outsider's perspective at what we're doing, it's just goofy. It's the whole world of voice acting, especially Walla, is just so goofy. And and then a couple seconds later, we all have to be rich people, just like, oh my, And it's just the concept of just the recording process is hilarious.
Yeah,
it's funny. It's so entertaining as actors. So I envy the American actors who get to record actual scenes back and forth with each other. Because the Walla scenes, as you know, that's the only time that we get to be with other actors in the booth. The rest of it, we're just by ourselves.
Yeah.
And, I would love to be in the booth with more actors more often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. So what's one piece of advice you would give yourself at the start of your career if you could go back in time?
Wow. If I could go back in time and give myself one piece of advice, that would be, it's going to be harder than you think.
Yeah.
It's going to be harder than you think. So just be prepared for that. Because every voice actor that I've heard has mentioned how difficult it is.
Yeah.
Not only to get into the industry, but also to stay in it and to stay motivated. And I always thought, yeah, I know. I'm up for the challenge. I get it. I'm up for the challenge. But boy, especially last year, I started realizing, oh, this is why people leave the industry. This is why people try other things. And this is why people not necessarily give up, but they decide my time could be better spent elsewhere because this is really hard. Man, like I started to really hit that brick wall of realization of, wow, this is tough.
Yeah.
Like you have seasons that have momentum. You have seasons that sometimes you have seasons full of blessings and opportunities where you're getting cast as characters and you're going in consistently. And then you hit a dry season. And those dry seasons, like, maybe it's just a fluke. I'll be back next season. And then, next season you're back. And then the season after that, it's dry again. But when you hit 2 dry seasons in a row, when you hit 3 dry seasons in a row, you start to question yourself. And you're like, what am I doing wrong? Is it me? What am I doing? Am I actually built for this? Am I actually cut out for it? Was this all for nothing? You get in your head so quickly. And so, man, if I could just echo their advice, but actually believe it this time, as hard as it actually really is to stay committed and disciplined in this, I wish I could just prepare myself even more for the heartache that comes along with being a voice actor. Yeah. All of the rejection is exhausting. It's exhausting. And so you really need to rely on the people who love you and care about you and who know what you're capable of.
Yeah.
You need to rely on those people, your support system, and you can't do it alone. You have to have people that you can go to in times of need. And I rely a lot on my faith. I really do. I have grown immensely in my faith through my voice acting journey, and I continue to do so because the gigs we get are so sporadic and they're never promised. And you don't know that you're booking a project in advance. You receive the project and you do it.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, you're wondering, when is my next project? When am I going to get work again? And so I rely a lot on God to provide for me opportunities and keep me going and keep me strong. And when I need encouragement from the people that I love and care about, I turn to my family. I turn to my friends. It's nice to have voice actor friends because we all know what it's like. We know what it's like for, to go through those dry seasons. And you're walking a fine line between hearing other people and celebrating their success and relating to their struggle versus comparing your story to their story.
Yeah.
That's another issue that I have faced, is the envy and the second guessing and the comparison that comes along with it. When you see your peers, you're happy for them, you're excited for their success, but you're also like, when am I going to get something like that?
Yeah.
And that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. I have really limited my social media interactions in the voice acting world. And I need to market myself, I think, but I also need to limit my exposure to social media because your brain can't help but compare.
Yeah.
It can't help but wonder, why did it work out for them so easily? And why is it such a struggle for me? And sometimes that's true, but most of the time, you're only seeing the success stories. You're not seeing how hard they're working. You're not seeing how much they're struggling either.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, long story short, I would go back in time and tell myself, really dig deep into my faith, my friends, my family, and stay off of social media as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. After saying you're not going to be on social media, where can the lovely people find you?
Still on it.
Yeah.
I just limit my scrolling time.
Yeah.
I'm always on social media, but I limit the things that I look at.
Yeah.
I get memes on social media. That's what I would do my social media for, is the memes. Man.
Good.
It's all about the memes.
Yeah.
And of course, keeping in touch with friends and family. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, you can still find me on Facebook, Naya Moreno. You can still find me on Instagram, Naya Moreno 619, because my birthday is June 19th. And also, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
It's 619, man. And
yeah.
Man, I was so cool when I told my friends that. I was like, my birthday is 9. And they're like, what? That's crazy. I was like, I know. It's Rey Mysterio. But I'm also on Twitter. I'm sorry, I'm not going to call it X.
No.
It's Twitter.
No, Whenever someone's like, I'm on X, and I'm like,
no, you're not.
No.
You're on Twitter.
Yep.
What's my handle on Twitter? I think it's Naya Moreno VO.
Yeah.
Naya Moreno VO.
Mm-hmm.
That's so sweet.
But yeah, you can follow me at Corky Cosplays on Instagram, Adam Corky everywhere else, and subscribe to the Patreon. You get exclusive videos, behind the scenes content, and episodes a day early. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.